You're watching the ArmChair GM podcast with Chris, Dylan, and Ty.
Holy cow.
What the fuck's happening?
Are you kidding me? Dylan and Chris in the same fucking room? Yeah.
Are you seeing this right? I'm still confused.
Oh, man. I mean, I don't even know how we got in here.
Oh, I kind of broke in, man. Like, I don't know if you've seen this room before, but I kind of like it. I've been crashing here for like a week. You haven't noticed?
I mean, you came in, you just kind of looked around, and you didn't leave. And it's been days and days and days. Like, ever since the playoffs started. Man, it's been good.
Yeah.
So Dylan and Chris, we've been going to a couple of games this week, having the time of our lives, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, the games have been
somewhat boring, but the crowd and the crowd at the Dome has been really good, honestly, the last couple games. The first two games of the playoffs, really, really good.
Met a lot of awesome people.
Lots of great people.
Dylan has found out that I know half the people that are in the building.
At the Saddle, it's really weird.
I don't know why that is, but I guess it's because I've been going there for so fucking long. How's everybody doing? Here it is. It's Friday night. No Flames on tonight, so got to pass the time somehow. It's getting crazy watching SoCal, Marta Looper, and by the way, playing against the Oilers. We're hoping for a different result than what's happening right now, but it's all good. So Dylan, what has been your favorite part of this week's experience going to two playoff games at the Saddle Dome?
Honestly, I think I kind of touched on it a second ago. The atmosphere, especially at the beginning of game one, was like, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to game one specifically so bad was, the pregame show and just how excited everybody is. And, there's lots of like well-deserved hype for these playoffs with this, version of the Flames. And you can tell in the building that all the fans are ready. No, games didn't really maybe live up to the hype and expectations because super low scoring. We had a 1-0 and basically another 1-0 game. One was 2-0, but it's an empty netter. I count that as 1-0.
Yeah.
And for some reason the second game wasn't really that intense. The first game was, but yeah, definitely the fans. I've been to games before, right? But the fans this last couple games have been something crazy.
Yeah, it seems to be a series of goaltending right now on defense. Both teams can shut it down whenever they want. Like it's been a crazy amount of low scoring chances. Obviously low goals. You got two really good goaltenders right now, each with a goal against, one in each game. Obviously, it's fun to watch because I'm a defense person, but at the same time, who doesn't like to get jacked and jump out of your seat and celebrate a Johnny Gaudreau goal, even though Matthew Tkachuk was 3 feet offside.
Right.
Lazy ass play from Chucky, and so it was kind of frustrating. Speaking of Chucky, I love the aggression that he's doing. However, one thing I've noticed this season regular play is that Tkachuk has been very, very useful when not trying to be the agitator. He's proven that he can actually put points on the board.
Yeah.
Not to say that he shouldn't be physical. That's not what I'm saying at all. But he seems to be going out of his way to try to be the agitator. So I don't like that.
Yeah. So for me, the last couple games of the regular season, I noticed he was going back to the agitator thing, and he was actually doing it pretty well the last couple games, I don't know, maybe the last 5 games or so of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was doing that really well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it hasn't seemed to be doing much other than getting him, fighting major or what was it?
Slash and roughing.
Slash and roughing call
Cross-checking
when there was a
roughing,
fight.
that's what it was. Yeah.
What a stupid thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you were saying they didn't drop their gloves, but I don't know. I think there is a certain there's a certain value to Kachuk being an agitator. There's a certain value to Kachuk not being an agitator, and he's still what, like 24? I don't even know. I think he's like, but he's still young, right? Like he's still learning when, especially in the playoffs, like he's barely played, right? So he's still kind of learning when to use that to his advantage and when to not do that. One thing that's really impressed me about both teams is this tying up of the sticks defensively, as far as like nobody's really getting any in tight, high quality scoring opportunities, like you were saying. But it's like all the other games are finishing with tons of goals, and our games aren't, because both teams are playing so good defensively. And usually that's where Kachuk can kind of get in someone's grill and make them take a penalty or create space and open the game up a bit. But it hasn't seemed to work against Dallas, and I think it might be time to not.
I agree. I like game 2 especially. I got the sense that Dallas was in our heads on the ice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
third period especially.
They weren't. They're just not buying what we're selling. They're not trying to get into that weird like chippiness. After every play. I mean, obviously you're going to get a bit of, stink love and stuff like that, which is, to be expected. But they're just not going that extra step that some of the Flames players seem to want to
make
take
happen.
it, right? So I think going into Dallas tomorrow, in my opinion, I think it would be time to get back to high flying offense. Like that top line is.
That's weird to hear you say that,
right?
But I agree, because Dallas's game is very, very tight checking type thing, right? And they thrive off of not letting much through, but also not really taking too many themselves. I find, like, as far as high quality or scoring opportunities, shots even. But I think it's important that we try and mix it up, because we've been doing too much dumping and chasing. We've been doing too much forcing that. I mean, it's the only goal we scored, but forcing that Lindholm, Gaudreau, Kachuk play that has worked well all year. But if it's not working, those like the bang from behind the boards onto
but
the.
It sure was pretty
wall.
though on Tuesday night though, that first goal from Lindholm.
It was, but Dallas has that fucking peg now. Like,
yeah.
I think it's time to just mix it up, right? Try something new, try something different, and make the Stars, especially for the first line, make the Stars just read something different instead of defending the same thing every time those guys are on the ice.
Oh, you mean like the patented Calgary Flames drop pass on the power play?
No.
Oh no, keep doing that.
Yeah. Well, every team does that now, and it's silly. But you know what I mean, though.
I do know what you mean.
From behind the net onto the boards, behind the net, out in front. But the little triangle play that they've been doing, and they got 40 goals apiece this year doing it.
Yeah, it's hard to come away from that when they were so successful at it throughout the regular season. I do believe it's time to let Johnny, not that he's being stifled, but I think it's time to let Johnny become creative.
Free wheel,
right? Let him get back to the most impressive defensive game that he's played in his career, being the 21-22 season. Let him get back into not being afraid to move and play the puck and be creative. I think we need to get back to that. And Lindholm likes to hit, and I love it. Chucky loves to hit, and I love it. But let's leave that to the guys that are there for that. We've got two lines at the bottom end. I mean, like Richie and Lucci, and well, even Lewis for that matter. Let that whole line just start obliviating all of the Dallas Stars.
Yes.
Let them do that. Let's start getting goals on the board.
Yeah. I don't think, we can't just tell them not to be physical though.
No.
Like, especially Lindholm, I've been really impressed with his physical game. And I know we both said that, like, I think at the beginning of game 2, right? Like we're sitting beside each other in the stands and we're both looking at each other like that's 1 hit, that's 2 hits, that's 3 hits, that's 4 hits by Lindholm, because we're and like big ones too.
And oddly enough, they're registering for 1 or 2 a game, which is weird because I mean when you see 3, 4, 5 of them live,
you're counting them.
Yeah.
We literally counted them, and the people behind us were like, "You can't believe Lindholm is but the score.
Lindholm did that a couple of years ago too. After Chucky went down, I feel like he thought that was now his
thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which I don't mind. He's good at it. He's really good at punishing the body on the boards, and he doesn't put himself out of position to do it. And he picks his time, and I do appreciate it.
Absolutely. But this is something we were talking about yesterday, or maybe even today. Lindholm's game, the reason he doesn't get a lot of hits in the regular season, to me, is that his game is he's not in position to make hits.
Right.
He's in position to get in between the puck carrier and where the puck carrier is going to put the puck, whether that's the net, whether that's another player. He gets himself in the passing lanes and the shooting lanes. And usually if you're in the passing lanes and the shooting lanes, you're not in a position to hit. Yeah. And I feel like that's where Lindholm is the most effective, is when he's trying to take away pucks through his brain and not through his body.
Agreed. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he you're right. Another player that we're getting a lot of comments for on Flames Hub is Backlund. People seem to be thoroughly unimpressed with his game. And
Veer,
yeah, in particular, buddy. Come on now.
Yeah.
I understand that he's not getting the points that everybody wants him to. I get that. The stuff he does behind the play, and we need to just lay off him a bit, in my opinion. I mean, the points will come with him, but his defensive plays and he's been so physical in comparison to his normal day-to-day.
Oh, Edmonton just put up another one.
Fuck around.
Sorry, guys.
Fucking Kane. It's been really impressive to watch. I really do enjoy watching him play a 200-foot game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I know you feel the same way about Backlund and that I do. That, I mean, yes, obviously the goals are a huge bonus, and they're not happening right now. But
it would be awesome to see him get goals. But my whole thing with Backlund, my whole thing, not just with Backlund, but with the team right now, is like, if you're scoring 1 goal in 2 games, you can't blame Backlund. Like, Backlund had the most shots out of any player last night.
Yeah.
And
well, that's right. He had 4 shots last night.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go out there and say any of them were super high quality or anything, but we didn't get any high quality shots. And Backlund's job on the ice is not to get high quality shots.
That's right.
Does he sometimes? Yes, he gets the odd, breakaway on the PK or whatever too. But his job is to play really good defense. And this is something that people don't see on TV. And every time I go see a game, which isn't very often, but every time I do go see a game, I notice guys like Backlund, not just Backlund, but we're on Backlund right now. Mm-hmm. You see things happening away from the play. So the camera is the TV camera is zoomed in on the offensive zone, and you don't see what's going on in the neutral zone. There's always a player or two back. Not always. Sometimes there's a player or two back there.
Yeah.
But the stuff that Backlund is doing back there, I remember telling you earlier, like my biggest thing with Backlund is the way he plays against McDavid. And we're not playing them right now, obviously, but he is one of the only players who has in the past really shut McDavid down, and as a matched up center for most of a game, and he's done it a couple times a year, not every time, but a couple times a year. And the way he plays McDavid is how he's been playing this series. You watch him behind the play, and he is being pesky, and he's in people's grills, and he's constantly lifting sticks and poking, and he's not letting anybody get anything clean.
Yeah.
And that's what you need out of your I don't even call Backlund a 200-foot player. He's a 75-foot player.
He is.
He's a defensive zone player, and that's fine. He's great at it.
That's right. And I agree with you 100%. I mean, we need guys like that are defensively sound as a forward. Obviously, Lindholm has that in him. Coleman has that in him.
Yeah.
Toffoli has that in him.
Absolutely.
John Croak has that in them. Like, we do have guys that are like that. And even Dubé is really kind of coming into that
He's
role.
coming into his own that way,
like
a little bit. Yeah.
He still has some work to do, but he's being mentored by the right people to become defensively sound.
Yeah.
So who did Backlund play most of the season with? Was it Coleman and Mangiapane?
So he had, I believe, the line that was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one with all the crazy metrics for like half the season was Mangiapane, Coleman, and Dubé, I think.
Really?
And they were playing, and Backlund was on another line, and he was playing really well with his line mates. But those guys were like the second line for a little bit, and they were playing really, really well together.
Okay.
But Backlund, I think, well, because Toffoli wasn't on the team for a super long time, but
No.
I think that was one of Backlund's problems, is he kind of got different. Fucking Edmonton
Shit.
again.
Fuck's sake.
But yeah, I think that's one of Backlund's problems, is he hasn't had the same line mate, even really one of them, for very long, because I think Sutter's been trying to find somebody for him, and when it's not working for a game, he tries to find someone else or another. I think there was a portion where Mangiapane and Backlund played together for a long time, and they did really well.
I thought there was Coleman and Mang with Backlund. I'm sure it was not necessarily producing a lot, but I feel like that was part of the time in which Mangiapane was scoring goals in a lot of them.
Mangiapane was scoring goals in a lot of them when he was getting third line
time, right?
Yeah, third line time. And that's something that I've noticed with Manj is when he's on the second line, he's not scoring. When he's on the third line, he scores all the fucking time.
Right.
And it's been that way all year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you might be right. I think you're right. Yeah. So that being said, so moving on to defense, being how we've been such a defensive team so far. I mean, 2 games, right? We've got 2 games, 1 goal apiece.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously defense is playing a huge part.
And it's been good. I'm really impressed with Rasmus.
He's played well. Huh?
I'm really impressed, and like he's got a little more bite to his game than he's ever had.
You know what?
Like all season.
I heard that he's acting tougher than he is, though.
I've heard that too, but I also heard the same guy got taken down by Kachuk. So I
also heard the same guy got his ass handed to him by Anderson.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
I mean,
and like that,
I mean, sure.
It's kind of funny to tell somebody.
But...
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny to tell someone that they're acting tougher than they are, like a couple hours after they kicked your ass.
Yeah, that really is. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, though, and this is me like going back to what I said at the trade deadline and before that, when I like Klingberg. I wouldn't mind having Klingberg on the Flames, but that comment was fucking stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, until he becomes whiny.
Yeah.
Like,
But as a player, I really do like Klingberg.
obviously, he's one of the better defensemen in the league.
Yeah.
I get that, but yeah, that comment was just hilarious.
It really was. Like when somebody kicks your ass, you don't say, "Oh, no, so and so is acting tougher than he is after Buddy just kicked your fucking ass."
Yeah, that is comical. That's super comical.
It's quite hilarious, honestly.
We have a fucking Kane, right? We've got a defenseman. What does he wear? Number 8.
Tanev?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, he's been all right, eh?
Yeah,
It's been all right.
keep him around for a couple days.
I just can't get enough of Tanev. I don't know what it is about the guy. I think it's his hair, maybe, or his lack of teeth.
I was gonna say it's his teeth, but then I remembered he didn't have any.
Right? Yeah.
His beautiful.
There's just
his
something
his
about
mug,
him.
His mug.
Oh, it's his defensive game that is super strong.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with that.
I don't know.
Especially again being in the building, like you see it on TV, but being in the building, you see the shit that he does away from the puck to tie guys up before the puck's coming to that guy or to get in the Kopitar just scored beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's 5-1, I think. Yeah.
SoCal.
Woo. But yeah, the things Tanev does to get in the way, and like the way he kills rushes, like so many guys go on a 2-on-1 and they'll like lay down in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And it works like,
does
a
work,
solid 60-70% of the time.
Yeah.
But Tanev just attacks the puck carrier with his body and just bodies the dude off the puck if it doesn't give him any room.
He does it, and
he doesn't nail him. He
I was
just
gonna say, like,
bodies him.
he's not taking guys out or anything like that. He's just like takes them away from the net. He's just, here, come with me. We're going to the corner.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, taking him out for a nice dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Off to the corner that's not in front of the net. Yeah,
That's right. The fuck with what you're thinking. We're going over here.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so obviously having him paired up with Shillington, who's, he's had some good moments. He's had some, still a rookie after 3 seasons moments.
Like 6, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, I still personally would love to see Stone
I think
in at least playing a game. And to me, Shillington's the guy to bring up for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, like Shillington brings something that the team needs against certain teams.
Mhm.
I think especially after watching those last couple games, games 1 and 2, you see we're not getting shots through and we're not causing enough havoc. And Stone's way of playing, especially in the offensive zone, like he's great defensively. We're not good. Besides that, we need goals.
Yeah.
Stone rips every shot he possibly can, and he makes the team get to the front of the net.
Right.
And that's been
he
the
forces the
biggest
puck there.
problem
Right.
with the Flames in the
Yeah.
playoffs so far this year, is that they haven't collapsed to the front of the net for rebounds and screens.
That's right.
And
When there's a
Stone-
rebound, there's nobody there at all.
Ever. And
Yeah.
Stone's presence and the fact that everyone else on the ice knows what he's going to do the second he gets the puck in the offensive zone makes the team hit the front of the net.
Correct.
Or the hash marks or somewhere close.
That's
to
right.
Where the puck's coming back.
The other 4 guys on the ice know damn well that he's not going to dipsy doodle. He's not going to try and toe drag. He's not trying to go and keep making a play move on. He knows the only way to score a goal is the puck has to go to the net.
Yeah.
Get it in the net.
Absolutely.
What happens to it after that is on you guys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get gritty. Let's get dirty in front of the net.
I even remember after it may have been the last game Stone played, maybe the second last game Stone played. They had an interview with him with Leslie or Parker or someone like that, and asked him like, what's made you have 5 points in your 6 games or whatever. I can't remember what it was, but he had like almost a point a game. Right. And he's like, well, I know what my job is. My job, if I'm in the defensive zone, is I body somebody off the puck and I get her up the ice. And,
That's right.
and if I get the puck in the defensive zone, I wind up and I use every muscle in my body and I get her to get it to the net. And every time I get it, that's what I do.
That's right.
We
need more shooters.
Yes.
We need more shooters on the back end. We need guys like Branson that loves to shoot.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's I feel like he hasn't had his best games of the two of them. They haven't been bad, but they're not his best.
And Branson?
No, just Branson himself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Zadorov, I mean,
he's doing the dipsy doodle thing again.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's tough to do a dipsy doodle when you're that fucking big.
I mean, not everybody's Mario Lemieux.
I mean, he shakes his head like this, but everybody knows when he goes like this, he's going the other way, right? We all know.
Yeah,
everybody knows. There's 19,000 people in the building that knew that when he would do this, he was going like this.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, we were doing best when both of those guys were just, as soon as the puck got to him, hammered on net. As soon as it got to him, hammered on net. They just trade shots on and off. They both have really good shots, and between it actually just sneaking through and getting in because we have somebody in front of net to sort of screen the goalie. Yeah, what a concept! Or you get a deflection, or you get a rebound. 3 recipes for success.
Yeah,
and more offense, which I guess we're kind of lacking.
Yeah, well, and again, like you're talking about getting pucks to nets and screens and stuff like that, and like. As much as I'm going to give Ottinger credit for having a shutout and having the 1 goal against game, playing pretty damn well, honestly. Mm-hmm. We're not getting in his grill.
No,
you got to.
No, he's super comfortable in there.
He's seeing everything, and again with the Tkachuk and Gaudreau and Lindholm thing. They do that little in the corner play and it works a lot, but it hasn't been working so much in this series. But the other thing Tkachuk is really good at is screens and deflections.
Yeah.
So let's switch it up, get Tkachuk in front, get Johnny on the half boards, get Tkachuk and Lindholm both in front, and
that's right.
Get pucks on nets from the back.
How many times have you seen him be successful in front of the net, whether it be a tip shot or playing a rebound? And just getting dirty in that area, right?
Yeah, or even drawing a penalty from it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let him draw the cross checking or holding, and move on with it for sure. 100%.
Exactly.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Power play. Tell me about the power play.
Have we had any?
Yeah, there's been like 10 of them.
Doesn't feel like it. I mean, we scored 5 seconds into our first power play of the playoffs.
Yep. And it was, first period of the first game. It was the only goal I got to see live.
So it's like inflated stats.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then after that, because there's been a ton of penalties called both sides.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't. There's no issue with the
how even the calling is.
Yeah,
it's the fact that they're calling so much.
Yeah. True. I think there's. I feel like they didn't call game 2 like they did call game 1. They were really aggressive on the calling on game 1.
I think in game 2, after the second period, they started they're like, okay, we'll dial it back a bit.
Sure. Yeah, which is kind of what we're used to seeing in the playoffs. So, we knew it was going to eventually
happen.
Even though Bettman says that 20% more calls in the playoffs and whatever the fuck he says, he's a lying Saka.
Yeah,
he's lying.
Well, he didn't lie when he said we need a new arena, though. But it took him getting stuck in the elevator to say it.
Wow. that might not have been a malfunction of equipment. It may have been somebody just turning a key.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't in the elevator because I'm a peasant and I use the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is there an elevator in the dome? I didn't even know.
Of course there is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the power play has just been like are we getting? It kind of comes down to everything we've talked about. We're not getting pucks to the net.
Yeah. Well, that's all, and it's all.
They're trying to be too cute.
And it's the same. Okay, and it's also like I pumped Razzy's tires earlier because he's been playing so well defensively. But what happened to that clapper? He hasn't used it. He turned into like as far as offensively in the playoffs so far. He's kind of turned into almost trying to do what Giordano used to do on the Flames, which is walk in and take a wrist shot. But Razzy's wrist shot hasn't ever been that great. His whole thing has always been the clapper from the point, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah, I agree. He's trying the toe drag over to the wrist, right?
Yeah. Do the Giordano.
Yeah, and that's a dance that he shouldn't be doing.
No.
It's a bad look on him because he's just practice that in the summer.
Yeah, and if you get good at it, then use it in the winter. But
stick to what you.
Now's not the time for practicing new things. Now's the time for doing what you're really fucking good at.
Practicing new things. So Richie, what do you speaking of new things? Richie's getting games in 2 in a row.
He's got, and speaking of new things, he's also getting chastised by people online for not scoring goals. So what do you think about that? Because personally, I know that when Richie's not scoring goals, we're losing games, right? Right.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying this for a while now. Like if Richie would score more goals, the Flames they'd be winning the Pacific Division.
Exactly, and if Richie was scoring more goals, he'd probably have worked out pretty well on that first line with Gaudreau and Monahan, or Gaudreau and
tell you what,
whatever it was.
I'll tell you what, you know why he's not working out on the top? He's not being given the chance.
He's not being given the chance. Give Richie a chance. Make Britt good again.
Sorry, that might have been a Bennett reference, but anyways,
it definitely was.
Are you fucking kidding me, Flames Hub? Complaining that Richie is the reason why we don't have offense?
Yeah.
The kid has done everything you can expect a grinding fourth line player to do.
He gets in there.
Games.
He in the defensive zone and in the neutral zone, he gets in there, he makes a hit, he makes an outlet pass, or he carries it out, he dumps it in, he gets off, he goes to the bench.
Right.
What the fuck else do you want from Brett Ritchie?
Yeah. It's just so funny to me. Reading some comments today on online was just so good.
Yeah.
And it's just it takes everything for me to just not chime in. I just you know what? This is not even worth a conversation.
Yeah. Why are you complaining about and yes, Gaudreau and Tkachuk and Lindholm haven't been, they scored the one goal we've had so far. They're not producing as much as we'd like them to. Nobody on the team is producing as much, but
correct.
Blaming Richie and blaming Richie for not scoring is like blaming fucking Juuso Välimäki for Juuso Välimäki's in the AHL. Why are you blaming him for not scoring in the NHL level?
Blaming Richie for not playing good enough is like blaming Chris Sutter for not dancing well enough in the stands. And that's garbage because Chris Sutter's dancing is amazing.
He's a great.
It's been so fun to watch.
It has been pretty good. He's hyped the crowd up pretty good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He's doing a better job than Harvey, as I tell you that.
Oh man, Harvey's not even in the crowd. He's like fucking 30 feet in the air.
Yeah. I wonder how they did that. It's like magic.
They threw him up there.
Threw him up.
Yeah. Yeah. They got Luch over there and tossed him up.
Is that like a who let the dogs out moment?
Yeah, sure. I don't know where you're going with that, but I'll just agree.
So there's the Flames. I mean, obviously, the only person we've left out is Markstrom, and
he's let in one goal in 2 games. So
he's sitting at like 975 save percentage over 2 games.
blaming Richie for not scoring is like blaming Markstrom for not getting a goal.
Sure.
That's not his job.
It's like blaming Markstrom for losing a game that he allowed one goal in.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's
And I've been critical of Markstrom in the past.
yeah, he's played good. Like again, not all of the best opportunities that he's had to save, but he's been there and he's got a 0.5 goals against average, and I don't know what his save percentage is, but it's fucking pretty good. Like I just don't understand.
I believe it's in the 970 mark.
Oh man,
Not bad for a couple of
I
playoff
think we
games.
should start Wolf next game.
I mean, he's the best goaltender in the AHL.
He is. Oh, let's spend a second on that. So Wolf, our AHL guys have been making some waves here the last couple of days.
Who are they?
Well, the coach and Wolf.
You mean the Stockton Heat?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, the Stockton Heat. So, I said that right.
No, you just said our AHL guys.
Okay, yeah. So the Stockton Heat, the AHL affiliate of the Calgary Flames.
Mhm.
For those of you that don't know,
Sounds hot.
I don't know. I had to tell Chris just now because he didn't know. So,
Sure.
okay, so
It's
they,
not Abbotsford?
yeah, the Abbotsford Canucks. Yeah,
I'm
weird,
so
eh?
confused right now.
Yeah. Anyways, so they, Mitch Love, the coach, won AHL coach of the year.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way that minor league coaching is supposed to work is that they kind of emulate what the NHL coach wants, and use that same system because they're trying to teach these young AHL guys who may be brought up how to play that system. So if they need to be played, then they don't need to be taught. So basically he won the I'm listening to Daryl and teaching my guys how to do what.
It's funny how that works. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
But
a world class coach taught me how to coach my players, and I won the best coach
in the minors.
in the minors.
Yeah. But still, it's good, right? It's good. It's great.
It's great, 100%.
And it's led to, like, Stockton records. I think Matthew Phillips broke the goals record, and who was it? Oh, Dustin Wolf broke the rookie wins record, and he's a rookie. Okay, I don't get
rookie
this.
in the A.
Yeah, rookie in the A, which is, but he also won. LA put up another one, boys.
Yeah, right.
Philip Deneau. So yeah, he won the goalie of the season in the AHL, which that's not a rookie award. That is as a rookie, he is the best goalie in the entire AHL, which includes several guys
veterans in the AHL.
Veterans in the AHL and guys who have played a lot of NHL games as well 100%. In the AHL. So that's really impressive. But he didn't win the Rookie of the Year.
Which is weird.
How you can win the Goalie of the Year, basically the AHL's Vezina Trophy, as a rookie goaltender, and not the actual, and not the Rookie of the Year.
Good point.
Is really strange to me.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
Do you know who won it? No, I'll look it up. We'll talk about that next week, I think.
Yeah.
Seems like a good topic. Other than hopefully at some point next week, we'll be able to talk about some teams that have been going home, some teams that are moving on.
Yeah, that would be great.
The top 16.
Unfortunately, I won't be in the same room as Chris this coming week, but
based upon the few days that you've been around, I don't know if you're allowed back in here. I know my wife doesn't appreciate the fact that we just get together and drink beer and go to hockey games.
Oh, it sounds horrible. Personally, my girlfriend's been pretty happy I haven't been in the house for the last couple days. So
she did message me about that.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Yeah.
So elsewhere outside of Calgary, what do we got going on? We've got a couple of series in the East. Got Florida and Washington.
Yep.
I believe right now the series is tied.
Yep.
Hmm.
And so not that we talk about cap circumvention or anything that much on this show, but I just wanted to point out that they brought Ekblad back for the first game of the playoffs.
That's so weird.
It's so weird how that happened. But also, do you remember seeing that injury?
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's no way that he wasn't fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, it wasn't a Stone situation where he's injured.
No, but also Stone's been playing for a little while and is obviously not playing like Mark Stone.
Yeah,
he played for a couple weeks there at the end of the season, and he didn't look like himself for one of those games. So he was hurt.
He was hurt,
and he's got a degenerative back problem. Like, that's a big thing. But with Ekblad, like, probably could have been playing a little while before. They probably kept him out longer, but it still was a serious injury.
It really was.
And I don't want to hear anybody that actually watched that injury happen ever say that it was a fake injury, because it's not.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he's come back. He's looks really good. The Panthers kind of let one slip there in the first round, the first game. But again, you're not going to beat the Capitals 4 times in a row. I don't think many teams are going to do that.
I mean, it's a tough sled, right? I mean, they do still have some serious firepower.
Yeah. They don't have much goaltending, but
no, I mean, they don't have Holtby.
Well, neither does Dallas, apparently.
Nobody does. Holtby didn't have him. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, what are we sitting at? We got 9, 10. We got 12 goals total in 2 games in that series. God, wouldn't it be nice to watch goals while you're at the Dome?
It would be really fun.
I saw something else.
I saw 2 and 1 that got called back.
It's true. No, that's true.
Yeah.
Fucking Chuck. Yeah. Then we got fucking Leafs and the Lightning.
The game just ended a couple hours ago. So Leafs are up 2-1, which is fantastic to me, because that just means that the Leafs get a lot of golden opportunities to set themselves up for a 7th game collapse again.
Yes. Oddly enough, every game that's been won so far in that series has ended with 5 goals for the winner.
That it has. I didn't notice that.
That's craziness, right?
Yeah. But they did shut the Lightning out the first game. That's kind of interesting.
I feel like the Lightning shut the Lightning out in the first game.
I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
I watched a large portion of it.
Were they just bad?
They were just, they were super bad. But okay. I don't know if they weren't trying. They just, they weren't organized.
No chemistry.
None at all. It really was hard to watch. It was hard to watch for a couple of reasons. Just because, I mean, I'm not a Leafs fan.
Oh, don't let him lie to you. He's totally a Leafs.
That's why I got all the blue in the room.
Like, I know I'm colorblind, but
I
don't think I'm that colorblind.
Moving on. So Boston got their first win tonight.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Against Carolina,
but Carolina's also scored 12 goals in 3 games.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Offense.
What's a goal like?
I don't know what that's like.
I don't remember. It's been a game.
Sure as hell don't know what it was like on Thursday night at the Dome.
No.
Other than, Chucky being offside, trying to just lose his way back into the neutral zone.
But I gotta say, one thing that's been kind of interesting about this Carolina and Boston series is that Kachekov, I think I don't know how to say it. I think it's Kachekov is the.
We'll go with your saying.
Yeah, the Carolina goalie, because Frederick Anderson's still out, and then Antti Ranta got hurt. I think right near the beginning, could have been halfway through-ish the game 2. So they had to bring in their third stringer, and he came in he lost game 3. but he came in and played fairly lights out in game two. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch because I mean that's a guy who never thought he was getting a start in this playoffs.
Yeah, in a playoff. Yeah,
yeah.
Like and
he's
Carolina's got some serious firepower. Right?
Absolutely, Carolina's a great team.
That's if you're starting out your. I mean, it's essentially like starting out your NHL career in a playoff environment against a high-flying scoring team like Carolina. No, thank you.
No, fuck that. But he seems to be responding. I mean, again, he lost game 3, but he played really well in game 2. So
yeah.
And so is this the only overtime game so far? No. I think there was an overtime game in
Nashville and
Colorado.
Yeah,
but triple overtime in game 1 for Pittsburgh, New York.
Yeah, which means that whoever comes out of this series is just going to be super bagged,
really tired.
And I mean, either one. I don't think that either one of the teams that come out of this series are going to move on after that, anyways. But just add to it.
I have New York
overtime. On, but and in this one, see, I have Pittsburgh. I just honestly,
I have New York moving on to the third round.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
I don't have them making it out of this one.
Fair enough.
But I just truly think that the veteran the veterans of Pittsburgh, I think, to me, in a 7 game, I think it's going to go all 7 personally.
Yeah.
And I do think that at the end it's going to end up being Pittsburgh. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't watched all of the games. For games 1 and 2, both games 1 and 2, Chris and I were at the bar drinking and talking and like kind of glancing over at that game, not really watching it, kind of glancing over at it.
Right.
But I remember like glancing over at them and like being slightly drunk or whatever, but also being pretty pumped because it seems like it's a pretty good series, and I'm pretty sure that I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure New York was actually up 3-0 in game 1 after the first or like halfway through the second or something, and then Pittsburgh came back and forced triple fucking overtime.
That's the veteran savviness that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyways, it's tied now because Pittsburgh won game 1 and New York won game 2. The only thing I don't like about Pittsburgh is Casey DeSmith. I have no trust in Casey DeSmith being a playoff caliber goaltender.
Yeah, and that's fair. Not having Jar in there is super tough for Pittsburgh, without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite having to rely on David Riddick, but it's
speaking of David Riddick, jeez. Yeah. But you know what? I mean, has he? Yeah,
he played game 1.
He did play game,
and he got torched for I don't know how many he was in for, but it was 7-2, and David Riddick did not look
which is kind of what the entire hockey community figured would happen with an Avalanche and Predators
if Saros was in that. Yeah. That probably would have happened with the Predators and Flames series if Saros was in that.
Yeah, if Saros was in net, it would have been 5-2.
Yeah, something like that.
Avs are too high flying for Nashville. It's not even fair.
Yeah. But that being said,
time, so
but that wasn't Riddick.
I know.
Conor Ingram.
Yeah.
He's a story too. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if this was a 4-game series, but Conor Ingram seems to be coming out of the woodwork. And oh no, sorry, that was a replay of the Kopitar goal. I was like, he scored again. Never mind. Getting excited here. Like, that makes me come back. But
for years.
Yeah, no, this Conor Ingram kid, I don't think, because obviously they have Saros, and Ingram hasn't played a whole bunch, but like a lot of the games he's played, he's looked like he's getting to be the 1B situation and not so much a backup situation. And I think that in the next year or two, they're going to have to, they're not going to get rid of Saros, so they're going to have to.
No,
do something with him.
Yeah, well, exactly, and I mean it's a good problem for them to have, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, for goaltending has never really been an issue in Nashville
No,
for the last how many years, right?
I mean, seriously, going like how lucky do you have to be to go from Pekka Rinne
to yeah.
Yeah, who was before Pekka?
I don't remember.
Chris Mason,
Jesus.
maybe? Is he on that team, or am I losing it?
I'm gonna move on. I don't remember.
Okay.
I really don't remember.
Okay. Anyways, but going from Rinne, like borderline Hall of Fame, like retired goaltender, to
borderline Hall of Fame.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if not first, I think he's got to be a second ballot.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, sure they did win their cups, but I mean the team just unfortunately wasn't good enough. It certainly wasn't on Rinne.
Yeah. And Saros is pretty damn good.
He's
Like,
okay.
He's small, and like that's like if you look, especially size wise, if you look at Saros, I kind of I'm not going to say Wolf is going to end up being Saros. I'm saying that Wolf's like ceiling is Saros.
Yeah. So the other series we've got not Nashville, Minnesota versus St. Louis. And, I tell you, it's
a doozy.
It really is. Like I didn't think that there'd be that many goals for the winning team for either one.
4-6, yeah, because they both play pretty defensive and physical hockey, and not so, and they both have pretty good fucking goalies, and I mean Husso's been crazy lights out this season.
I mean tonight, because they are playing tonight.
They're up to Minnie's up to nothing right now.
They're up 5-1.
Oh, I looked at it was 2-0 last time I looked.
Yeah. I haven't refreshed this page in a couple of hours.
Okay.
They're up 5-1.
Okay.
That's kind of where I was going because I knew that they were up at least 3 last time I looked. So when I saw that, that's why I opened up.
That's why you opened up another.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
So I mean, already, we're looking at Minnesota with game 2 win with 6 goals. They've got 5 goals already. I mean, I know Minnesota can score goals right now, but we're so used to that
boring
Tuesday
Minnesota.
night boring 2-1 victories or 2-1 loss.
Yeah,
1-0 shit.
The old shutdowns. Fucking boring Minnesota team.
Thanks, Parise,
but they haven't done that this year. But they might have to go back to it next year because they have to figure out their Parise and Suter buyout situation. But I mean, it must suck to be on that team, to be signed long term to that team, because they're fucked after this year. Like they
kind of are, right?
It's not often your winning window is 1 year and there's no chance at all of next year.
Right,
and that sucks.
Yeah, that's very true. People, I kind of follow Minnesota a little bit. I do appreciate what Cam Talbot did for them through the year.
Yeah.
And last year, the one, people really wanted to get rid of Talbot in Calgary, and that was one of the ones that was kind of clamoring to keep him aboard, right?
He was bad. He had that one bad game in the playoffs, and that was it.
Right.
Like, he was so good for us.
Yeah, exactly. He had the one bad game in the playoffs, and we put in Riddick with his brand new equipment. Who the fuck comes to a playoff game with brand new equipment?
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. I mean, he's not even playing playoff games in Nashville.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Sorry, Dave. Loved you when you're here. BSD is gone. Sorry.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because he looked really good for us for a little bit. He was a really good 1B, I think.
Yeah.
For us for
he really
a year
was.
and a half probably, and then something happened.
He stole the net from both Smith and Talbot for a period until playoffs, right? For whatever reason, we just never felt comfortable putting him in the playoff situation.
And unless he hadn't played for like 6 months.
Right, but that was
and
never the
that was
case,
wrong.
though, right?
Is that?
But that wasn't the case with when he stole the net from Mike Smith 2 seasons in a row,
Yeah.
and then never was put in for playoffs at all.
Yeah.
Mike Smith. I mean, not saying he's the reason why we lost playoff games, but
No,
sorry,
he wasn't.
And Cam Talbot after that was
really good.
really good.
He
Minus
was
the one game.
really good.
So I don't know.
Yeah. What other series have we not covered here yet?
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about Calgary, right? Who? The Flames, yeah, and the Kings.
Who? Wait. Don't hockey teams score goals?
Not here.
No.
No, we don't do that at the Dome.
Is this joke played out yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to speaking of lack of goaltending, LA and Edmonton.
So, are you trying to tell me that like 70-year-old fucking what's his face Jonathan Quick, who went deep into the playoffs every year and played a lot of fucking hockey in his life and was almost always a starter and almost lost his job to Peterson or whatever his name is, like quite a few times in just this year. Are you saying he wasn't fit to start in the playoffs this year?
That's not what I'm saying at all. He started game 1 and they won.
Barely.
They won.
Yes.
It's playoffs. Doesn't matter whether you win
He
by
just
an
got
inch or a
pulled.
mile.
He just got pulled.
Well, yeah.
And he let in 6 goals the game before.
I didn't say he should continue.
Oh,
You asked if he could start, and he did, and he won. Leave the guy alone. He's got his cups. He's a Hall of Famer.
yes, I will agree with that. But
Leave the man alone.
he's not starting game 4.
No.
No,
I mean, I hope not, because I wouldn't mind going
just
back.
refresh this page.
I wouldn't mind going back to Edmonton while they're tied, because because fuck Edmonton.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
Yeah.
Fuck the Oilers.
I'll be dead honest. Like I would want LA to win that series as much as everyone's all like, oh, let's do the Battle of Alberta. That's really cool. And I'm like, Backlund's really good at shutting down McDavid like a game or 2 here and there, but like 7 games, he's certainly not like.
You see a lot of that stuff online. I want X team because of blah blah blah. I want this team because fuck those guys and we'll kill them, we'll crush them, and I'm always the guy just being like, you should be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because how many people went, I want Dallas because we'll annihilate them. Like,
I said that, and I still think we're gonna.
Well, I mean, winning games and annihilation to me are 2 different things.
Oh yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like we're not.
I mean, Edmonton's doing some annihilating.
Are they though? Really?
6-0, 5-2. Let's put the annihilation.
I wouldn't call it that, but
Yeah,
I would call it bad goaltending.
that too.
But there's still 20 minutes left there. So I mean, and Mike Smith, as we know,
Edmonton's
Mike
really.
Smith can let 6 goals in a period.
Well, Edmonton Oilers as a team can let 6 goals in there pretty easily. And then they'll put Duncan Keith out there because he's the savior.
It's their defense.
guy that can't
It's their
skate
defense
anymore.
first mentality that they've always played with.
Yeah, it's their pass it to Conor McDavid and then see him play as a team thing that really.
They should just change the logo to his face, right? His mug.
Like that one shot that's on every meme that's like where he's super fucking miserable.
Yeah.
It looks like a 70-year-old man.
To get me out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of their. Oh, I love that.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun having you.
It's been a pleasure
for
it's
this
been
week.
A lot of fun.
I'm pretty stoked the fact we're able to actually record a podcast together in the same room. It's been fun.
It's been a couple of years of not doing that, and actually, in case you guys didn't know this, we haven't actually met each other before, like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty.
Yeah.
He's really fucking short, by the way. Just so you know.
Yeah, like 4-3.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's stretching it, maybe 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I feel like that was like a sweep reference.
Yeah. Anyways, no, it's been awesome, and it's been great to meet you and meet your family. It's been pretty great.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet, ain't they?
Yeah. And this room is terrible. You should tear it down and send it. Let me write down my address. You should send it there, and I'll burn it all for you.
Yeah, I'll burn that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the address.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not taking this anytime. If anybody is wondering, I'm actually taking donations to put more stuff in. Oh, and I am actually.
We're taking donations to fix Monty's fucking hips and.
No, I'm going to take donations for the $6 shelf that I'm going to build here because Monty still needs to go on the shelf.
Okay, I'm over it.
LTIR.
Like the hat's so big on him, you can't even see his face.
I don't know what happened. It didn't used to be. I feel like he's losing his stuffing.
Oh, and oh my god, he looks like such an idiot under there.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing like lipstick eyeliner. It's just weird as fuck. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching yet another episode of the ArmChair GM podcast. For myself, Chris, Dylan, Ty, who's playing in the weeds right now. He's a little bit under the weather. Something about playoffs and celebrations or something like that.
Yeah, you know, the old Corona excuse.
Yeah.
Like, not like he wanted to watch playoff hockey or anything.
I think what it is every time he goes up to the bar, he goes, "Ocho cerveza, por favor," and it doesn't understand that that's actually 8 beer, and so now he's suffering from Corona.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. And with that, just lost all the followers again. Have to start from scratch.
Start from scratch.
All right, cheers.